Hi, welcome to Crime in the Mitten. We are your hosts. I'm Shelby.
And I'm Alia.
Every week, you'll hear a new true crime story based in Michigan, from the mysterious missing cases to the gruesome murders that left the police struggling to stay on the scene. We're giving you the inside scoop on what's going on in our Mitten state. Tune in every Wednesday for your weekly dose of Michigan true crime.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Crime in the Mitten, where this week we will be doing a Netflix documentary review. So, or a recap. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, a recap. That's a better word for it.
Our Netflix recap, and this week we are doing Malice at the Palace.
Yep.
Now, we were told that we should not be doing Malice at the Palace because obviously we don't know sports. But we from Detroit, so we gonna try. We felt it was only right for us.
And we don't do well at being challenged.
No. They told us not to do it.
Challenge
so
accepted. And no, I definitely, but still though, I'm like, you don't have to be like a sports fan for real to like tell a recap of a story and like their point of view on it.
It's just a recap of the story, so I think we should.
Okay.
I feel like we should be okay.
We're good. So, some things that we knew before Malice and the Palace came out. I knew
we knew where the palace was.
Yeah, it's in Auburn Hills. Well, yeah, the palace is in Auburn Hills. Right. We also I knew about Ben Wallace. Like, okay, fun fact, Ben Wallace low-key was like my favorite basketball player, like back in the day. But that was because that was the only one like I really knew about. Like that's who everybody made a big hype about. So I was like, that's my favorite. And then his name was just easy to remember. It sounds so bad now.
The amount of Hamilton jerseys my dad bought me. Like, I have a pink one. I was this close to wearing it. I have a
You should have. It would have been so fitting. You would have like a real diehard fan.
Meanwhile, I know nothing. But it's hanging in there somewhere. But yeah, I've had it.
Cool.
I've had multiple. But the pink one, he just felt the need to give me a pink one too.
I mean, do you even like pink?
No, I've never liked pink.
All right.
He said they didn't have blue.
All right. Well, I guess that's weird, but I guess that'll do. So, that's it for what we know about this whole situation beforehand. Like, when I first seen the documentary, my boyfriend watched it first. And he was like, yeah, you don't remember this? And I'm like, dude, I wasn't born. Like, well, no, we were born. It was like, this is in 2004. We were kids still.
We didn't care.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's cool. So, the plot of it is from November 19th, 2004. An incident at the palace took place, and people refer to this, NBA referred to it as like the most infamous brawl in NBA history, and of course it takes place here.
But my whole thing is, when he like, oh, it's Detroit, we gotta go hard. Sir, Auburn Hills is not Detroit.
Yeah.
It's a good drive. Like, it's not Detroit. Like, the Pistons played there because that's where it was, but it's Auburn Hills is not Detroit. Don't put that on Detroit.
No. Like, just because the team name is that, it was like Auburn Hills acted a fool. Like,
Auburn Hills acted a fool.
I think they should have changed their name to Auburn Hills Pistons for a minute, just to like let us keep like, for namesake. Like, they already think Detroit rough. You threw this with it, and they're like, yeah, no, it's that it. So before this game even went down, it was really tense. Like, the game was tense from jump. They had an ongoing, like, not like a beef, but like they were rivalries, like a rivalry. That's pretty much what it was. So like off the court, a lot of these people were friends and stuff off the court, but like of course on the court it's a performance, it's entertainment and stuff. So that kind of like leads the energy of the crowds. Like, they don't know, like, okay, yeah, you probably had breakfast with this, this other team member's family right before this game. Like, you don't really know, like, the dynamics of their friendship. You just see what they present to you. So when we see that, that's like the energy we give back then. So that was a big point they were trying to make, because it was ridiculous how out of hand that these people got. So it was 45.9 seconds left in the game. And the Pacers are up 97. Detroit has 82. Ron Artest fouls Ben Wallace, and he, in response, Ben Wallace shoves him back.
Got him back.
Yeah,
right.
He shoves him back. So the guests are riled up at this point. Like, everybody knows that this is a big game. So the first little push, we like, yeah, get him, man. Like people are full blown blazing, ready for it. Yeah, like they were ready for it. Like people already kind of knew what time they were on when they went to this game. Like I'm pretty sure people didn't wear sandals; they wore sneakers. Like you kind of get the energy that was and then like when you have this many people who's been drinking beer and stuff like that in the stadium. The energy of the players getting ready to is only like a setup for disaster. And like it was bound to happen at this point.
They were in too deep.
So as like they're breaking up Wallace and they're breaking up Ron Artest, Ron decides to, and I really do feel like he was being cocky and disrespectful. He decides to lay on the score table. And he
he was practicing his breathing. Like, sir, you practice your breathing before you push.
And that's the thing that got me, because he was like,
you practice your breathing so you don't push.
You don't push the person. You already did. But the coach did say, like, he did order him, like, to foul out. And it was like, why would you tell him, though? Because
all people,
he was known as a firecracker. So if he's known as a firecracker, why are you igniting it? Yeah, he didn't need the push. Trust me, he would have did it on his own. Like, he didn't need you to help him out.
He would have did it.
He would have did it. So the fact that like all of that was taking place, the fans see that like, all right, you're in our home, you laying on our score table. He says that he was just counting the 10 and stuff like that, but
doing breathing.
I really find that like you probably were counting the 10,
maybe,
but you didn't have to go to the extent that you did. Like you knew that it was already like it was hot in here. Like, like it's already bad. Don't add fuel to the fire. So, out of nowhere, as he's laying on the table, here comes a cup, and it's like in slow motion, and it doesn't spill. I feel like that's the thing that people need to really point out. Like, yeah, this brawl was horrible. The cup did not spill. Nothing came out, because when it hit him, he was drowning just about. Like, so after the cup is thrown, he rushes up to the stand and punches a person, and it's not even the right person. He punched Michael Ryan, and he was just a innocent bystander. But the person who actually threw the drink, John Green, he tripped him on the way up to the wrong person.
Yeah. So it's like he wanted the fight, but he didn't. All he did was trip him. Like, I was tripping him.
You didn't commit.
At that point, if you're gonna do it, go all the way.
Go all the way. Like,
if you're gonna start the fight, go all the way.
Don't poor Michael then got beat up, and he don't even know. Like,
he was just there.
I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. So, some say, like, as this was going on, like, so after he's like, they throw the drink, Ron goes up there, his team backs him up, and they go up there to protect them. Like, it's thousands and thousands of fans, one player, and y'all not at your home court. Exactly. Like, at this point, no, it's like survival. So, they run up there, they trying to get him back down, more punches are thrown. It's not looking good. No. I'm pretty sure the cameras probably cut off at a point, because no one ever seen, like, they didn't never seen the raw footage of it. Like, they just seen the snippets of what the news media was saying.
Right.
So, a lot of people were saying, like, yeah, police were there, but we didn't see them. They weren't active there. Like, we didn't. But
no, the police call was the funniest. So they're like, y'all need to get to the palace right now. They're talking about y'all talking. You mean the fight that's going on?
You know, it's a way though. She never answered the question. She's like, yeah, y'all better get here. Like, she was like, if you know what I'm talking about, nothing more needs to be said. Get here.
Right.
It was funny though. Like, all the like police calls were coming in like crazy for this. So They get Ron out the stands, and police are like, look, it's them against everybody in here. Like, you're not at home. It's against everybody in here. We need to get them off the court. So, as they're trying to get them off the court, two fans run down from the stands. One is Shackfield. His name is AJ Shackfield. And the other one is Charlie Haddad. I think I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Haddad. Yeah. So, they run down, and now they trying to square up with Ron, knowing that he's amped up, like he's already. And he got these boys apparently because he's knocking people on left right. He don't care.
But like, why would you come down onto the court? Why would you come down?
What was the point? Like, what?
They pulled him out of the stands for a reason. Why would you go? Why would you follow him?
You see them trying to take them back to the locker room and stuff. So it's like, y'all did that really out of like to incite something. So he's squaring up with them. He swings at them and stuff. Like, you know, getting ready to get down to it. And Jermaine came to his defense. So he's seen Ron in like this scuffle, and he's like, I gotta defend my homeboy. So he runs, fist flying, and he slips on water. And that's like, a lot of people say that's the only reason why that guy is like still alive to this day.
Yeah.
Because I mean, think about it. Look, you see how fast he was coming at him?
Yeah, Punch would have knocked him out.
It would have been so bad for him.
He would have really needed the neck brace. This man out on a gurney in the neck with a neck brace on.
Yeah, he was such a victim. He probably kept that neck brace like too. Like, I can't take this home for a souvenir. Yeah. So, as like they're trying to clear the people off the court, not field. They're trying to clear the people off the court,
and not helping our case. They're gonna watch this.
They're like, they really don't know what they're talking about.
Our boyfriends definitely told us not to do this,
and it's fine.
We're not
so Dre's gonna look at me like, you took none of the notes. You called it the wrong thing. But as they're trying to get them off the court, Ron is like being held he's being held back at this point because obviously we know he's a firecracker. So the police, instead of like kind of taking care of the crowd, they were saying that they try to pepper spray him instead. But like, if he's being restrained,
if he's held back,
what's he doing?
Well, you have this whole crowd of people going crazy.
They're coming at us. Like, you think they're not gonna push you out the way too? So he's like, jumps in front of him to make sure that, you know, like, hey, look, why are you doing this? Pretty much, like, stop. And the police officer supposedly doesn't recognize him at the time, but like, it's Reggie Miller. Like,
okay, yes, he has on a full suit right now, but you know who that is.
You know who it is.
You know who that is.
It's like, I'm pretty sure you didn't see pictures of him in the suit though. Like, exactly. So it's like, it's not like some brand new look. Like, I get it if he came in with a 2-piece on or something like that. You could call that. You could be like, all right, disguise. But he's just
in a suit.
You only recognize him in basketball clothes. That's fine. So they get round to the back, and at this point, the crowd isn't calming down. They're ripping.
As they're taking him to the back, they're throwing stuff at him.
Yeah, they're trying to throw chairs at people. Like, it just looks so bad on our end of like the amount of stuff that was like thrown and popcorn wasted. Like, stadium food is cheap.
I mean, it's not cheap. They were riled up, so it's like they feed off of the energy.
Yeah, and they're riled up and they're drunk.
Yeah,
so that has like,
you picked up chairs.
I'm surprised that they still sell like beverages after this take place, because I wouldn't. This is like non-alcoholic beverages only.
That's funny.
So once they get Ron back into the locker room, like, everybody is hyped. Like, we did this. Like, yeah, brothers for life.
Stick together.
Bam. Like, Ron acts like,
just caused a whole riot.
Like, we was on the same court, right? Like, you see what happened? So Ron acts when they get back in the locker room. He's like, hey, you think we're gonna get in trouble for this? And at that point, it just really, a lot of people said at that point they knew that something was wrong with him. Like, have to be. He ends up changing his name to Metal World Peace. And throughout this documentary, no one acknowledges that.
No one. No one.
At all. Like, it was like, yeah, Meta. Like, they popped his name up in big letters, and everybody's like, yeah, so Ron Artest, right? Yeah, Ron. Like, he's like, we is not going with that. So, the consequences of it was Ron Artest was suspended for the remainder of the season. Steven Jackson, 30 games. Jermaine O'Neal, he originally was supposed to be suspended for 25 games, but they ended up going decreasing it to just 15. So that was cool. Ben Wallace was only 6 games. Anthony Johnson.
All he did was push him back.
Yeah, but then at the same time they said that Ben Wallace, he actually did get into, because he threw his towel at Ron when he was laying on the score. Yeah, and he was like kind of throwing stuff, although like it's harmless to us, but
at that point he was literally teasing.
Yeah, he was. And also Ben Wallace's brother jumped in to help defend Ben Wallace and stuff like that. Then they tried to like cover it up like he did, but they end up somehow finding out that he did help him. That was crazy. So Anthony Johnson only got 5 games. Reggie Miller, Derek Coleman, Chauncey Billups, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Elvin Campbell, David Harrison, they all were suspended for just 1 game too. Ron, Steven, Jermaine, Anthony, and David, they were all fined. They had to do community service, had 1 year probation, and all had to do anger management.
Understandably so.
If we really think about it, the fact that Ron sticks by the fact that he was counting the 10 with his therapist.
With his therapist.
I don't think anger management. He's like, I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. So that was crazy. So
in the cockiest way possible.
In the cockiest way possible. Like, you can count, but don't put your hands behind your head. Like, that's just the utmost response. Yeah, just sit there. Stand there. Don't lay on our dang on scoreboard, like our score table. Like, what is wrong with you? So, 5 of the Pacers and 5 of the Pistons were charged with various levels of assault and battery, which makes sense.
Right.
Brian Jackson, he was one of the people that threw a chair. Like, how do you even lift one of those chairs up?
One of those stadium chairs?
Yeah, well, they charged him with felony assault. They should have, like, took him to a lab, but that's like, he low-key the Hulk. Then the 2 fans that entered when they were trying to, like, run up on Ron and stuff, the ones that Jermaine came to protect them from, they both were charged with just trespassing. The person that started this, they just, like, they took away his season passes. They banned him from any events at the Auburn Palace. We were just talking about, like, would that make him eligible for the Little Caesars Arena? Because we might be getting a part 2. He waited all his life for this moment. He's like, all you gotta do is just get me to go. So, did you like the documentary?
I mean,
for what it was.
Yeah, it was sports, so it's like I was into it, but then at the same time, I was like, okay. But then when I was like watching YouTube videos to try to like learn more, I did like pick up the fact that it was all Pacers teammates.
Yeah.
Players and not so much Pistons. So the story was pretty much one-sided.
It was very one-sided. Like, they did a great job telling it, and they tried to get the people that they could.
Yeah, but
that I guess had a role, but like it would have probably had more depth if you would have had what the Pistons did in their locker room afterwards, because they kind of walked in scotch-free, like, from both sides. Right. So I said the same thing though. Like, I wish that you would, like, I liked it because for the longest it was just what the media put out there about it and stuff, and so you got to hear like the key people of the documentary. Yeah, you got to hear their side of it too, so you can kind of compare it. Was there anything you didn't like about it?
Like I said, the one-sidedness. That the reports, the sports reporters kept saying thugs.
It really made me mad.
That whole made me so thing was mad. Like, no, that's what we not gonna do.
That first off, you couldn't have played that in this type of time, like this time era and stuff like that, because we would have nipped
culture.
Yeah, cancel culture is so real. I'm worried about some stuff we say sometimes. So, the other thing I didn't like about it was like Reggie Miller missed out on the championship, like getting a championship under his belt, because he ended up retiring that next season. And he worked really hard.
Cutting back, but he was like trying to cut back from basketball anyway.
Yeah, but it still would have been nice after all those years to go out with, like, you know, a little sparkly ring.
He had sickness in the family. He was presented at award show.
No, that was Ron.
You're right.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was like. The whole reason behind all of this, like the fact that he was kind of like the one that was like riled up, and then he was also trying to drop his mixtape and award shows in the beginning. Remember, he was taking off all that time. Like, yeah, I didn't take this time off. I was like, it don't seem like a big of a loss to you that this all happened.
Because that's what you were trying to do.
You were trying to leave, so that's cool. Like, you do what you do. And I just didn't like the fact that they put the blame off of all the players. Like, all of it. Like,
everything. Yeah.
I get, they were like, they should have a level of professionalism and stuff. And yeah, I get that. But at the same time, if somebody threw a drink at you,
what you doing?
What are you doing? So don't sit there and say that. Like, if somebody is running up to you about the fight, I get paid to play basketball. I don't get paid to sit here and get punched on. Yeah. No. So that's like one of the things that really irritated me, because I'm like, self-defense, that don't mean nothing in this time era. That's cool. Because you see a bunch of black men defending themselves. Yeah. That's like, they're thugs. No. They're surviving. Like, you sit there and let 10,000 people come rushing at you. That was intimidating.
Yeah.
No, like, that's scary. So the moments that stood out for you, I just think the biggest one is the cup.
The fact that this man picked up a chair.
Yeah, the chair thing too. And then some people might not like this, but the fact that how they had each other's back. Like, remember Ron literally said, like, I will lay it on the table because I knew that they weren't going to let nobody get to me. Yeah, like,
that is cocky.
It's very cocky. But
that is cocky.
I want people to have my back like that too. Like, if I'm comfortable enough to do my therapy. Because that's what he was doing, remember?
Let me knock out this yoga routine. Y'all handle that.
Yeah, I know I kind of got this going, but y'all got it for here. You know, I gotta be limber.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was funny. What is something that could have made this documentary better to you?
Like I said, just them having more Pistons players involved and telling their side. I said the cameras inside of the Pistons locker room to see what they were talking about and what they were doing.
Yeah, because
what happened with them after.
I feel like, did you guys, I want to know if any of them met up afterwards, like, after all of this, and was like, look, I'm sorry for how we acted like that. Like, because remember, they are, like, not saying everybody close friends, but, like, you got to think people in those circles, yeah, they intermingle, yeah. So, I wonder if, like, they all just went to have a drink after this, or, because the police actually wanted to interview them, like, you know, do the cases with them, review them and stuff. But it was so wild that they couldn't. They wanted to get them out the locker room and out. So police actually ended up escorting them, like, with all their cruisers and stuff, to their hotels. And they're like, afterwards, we'll just come get you guys later. Like, we'll come get statements from you guys later and stuff. But the biggest thing is get out. Like, not to be rude, but
you gotta go.
You gotta go. Look, I don't get paid enough for this. So some things that I learned from this was that the game never really finished.
No.
It had 45.9 seconds left. So, hey.
At the very end.
And then there was also, like, beef between the teams beforehand. Yeah, because I'm like, how did this get so...
That's the last year's game.
Yeah. And so they were both supposed to be, like, the Pistons and the Pacers, they were, like, both really gunning for, like, championship. They both have really good squads. So, like, this game was so tense because whoever won this is, like, it set the record of, like, who's the best. So you can see why their tensions are high, our tensions are high and stuff like that. But I don't know, maybe you gotta be a diehard sports fan to, like, really get it, like, to get the full, you riled up about to go jump some players that...
Yeah, it ain't that deep. I'm leaving.
I'm leaving too. So another thing, a broadcaster, Mark Boyle, he tried to stop Ron from running in the stands. I think this was when he was climbing, like, off the table. And poor little Boyle, he was ran over and ended up having his vertebrae fractured. So that hurts. Yeah. And also, many people didn't know the reason why this whole riot started was because the guy who threw the cup was dared by his friends. Yeah. So this all started because of dare. And to an extent, I get him because you can't turn down a dare. We just literally said we like a challenge, so we're there. So the next time the Pacers came back to the Palace, somebody actually called in a bomb threat in the locker room, and it held the game up for like 90 minutes and stuff. So you can still see like there was some animosity with the fans. Like, I'm pretty sure they were all over. First off, they lost out on a lot of money. Like, the cost for this was like $10 million when you put together like how many games were missed by these players, how many fines and legal actions and all this other stuff. $10 million is a lot of money over a dare.
A lot.
A dare. So yeah, that was that.
Something you should have thought about.
Yeah, would I recommend this documentary though? I would. I would.
Yeah.
I feel like real sport fans and stuff, they do. If you want to impress your boyfriend, that'd be good. You'd be like, "Hey, babe, yeah, you know Reggie Meredith," and then he gonna be like, "What?" So I think like if you want to impress them, cool. But no, it's actually a really good documentary, and for something like if it's considered the most infamous brawl in NBA, you should know about it if it's in your home state. I mean, so I definitely recommend it, and I do like the fact that
exactly why we did it.
Yeah, I feel like you should definitely take a look at it. It's on Netflix, and it's pretty good. It's like 48 minutes long, and I actually enjoyed watching it though because it was like they give you the backstory. Like we only gave you the rundown of it, but they give you the like, backstory of like why it built up to what it built up now, like to that point. So if you're into that kind of stuff, or if you're looking for something to watch, I definitely would recommend watching Malice at the Palace.
Okay, and that is it for this week's Netflix documentary. Next we're doing what?
I'm not sure. We have
it's between Dirty John and Don't F with Cats.
Yeah. It might be Dirty John and
Dirty John. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I mean, obviously we both saw Don't F with Cats. That's what was kind of our first decision. But I told Shelby about Dirty John, and now she's just ready to get into it.
So we can do that one as well.
It's so good.
So let us know if you guys like these recaps and stuff. I'm pretty sure the true crime ones are going to be a lot better, like case ones. Yeah, this was John, so it'll get better. We just definitely wanted to do this one because why not? Like,
just go for it.
Something trendy,
right? Jump on the train.
You're supposed to jump out your comfort zone ever so often, and we did it for the month. So we're good. For the month. No more venture. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Crime in the Men. You can find the transcripts, pictures we've discussed, as well as the links to our references at our website. There, you can also find the links to all of our social media. If you have a case you'd like us to talk about, you can leave a comment down below or go to the Contact Us page of the website and leave a suggestion. Each month, we will choose one for an episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps a lot.